Hello everyone, welcome to this audio podcast. This synopsis, an audio podcast is part of a Storm Robotics article. This synopsis is part of as part of a Raptor Storm. This audio podcast synopsis are part of a Platinum edition, and this audio podcast synopsis is part of a Storm Robotics production. In this overview, just to sort of iterate what this Raptor Storm audio podcast series or edition, this platinum edition will include. There will be in this audio podcast series or edition. Will be a look at sort of some works from in around 2006, looking at works from in around 2006 in around Crouzons syndrome, abbreviated in literature as CS, and works of where there was a sort of a delving into the sort of basis in around craniosynostosis and Crouzons, which are a condition that have been identified originally in neonates and pediatrics and young people in around 19 in the 1900s, around 1912. And although some of the symptomologies around Crouzons and craniosynostosis have been sort of alleviated in some regard. There are symptomologies around craniosynostosis that sort of exists, that sort of still exists. Still exists, and so this audio podcast sort of is this audio podcast series or edition is sort of looking at some of the other symptomologies, the sort of some early epidemiology, some early genetic information, different forms of craniosynostosis and deformities, looking at hydrocephalus and its primitive basis, looking at surgical procedures, sort of an overview of surgical procedures such as the ventricular peritoneal shunt, looking at sort of primitive or sort of baseline anatomy around Crouzons syndrome, and the sort of some preliminary anatomy and characteristics around Crouzons, and then looking at some the workup on the history and examination, and sort of signs and symptoms and findings. Sort of some of the clinical evaluation and findings, some of the complications, and then looking at sort of the management and treatment and prognoses around early sort of Crouzons, and also where Crouzons is associated with symptomologies that sort of still exists in amongst neonates in pediatrics and young people, such as cleft palate abnormalities, and also looking at sort of symptomologies and around again. That still exist can exist in neonates, pediatrics, and young people, such as challenges around early sort of development, and then the this audio podcast sort of platinum edition sort of ends on with some citations and references, and sort of and sort of suggested reading, if you like. So that some suggested reading that listeners and viewers are welcome to sort of delve into as part of this audio podcast series. So. That draws this synopsis to a close. This synopsis, again, as part of a Ztorm Lobostics article. This audio podcast synopsis is part of a Raptor Ztorm. This audio podcast synopsis is a part of a Platinum Edition. And this audio podcast synopsis as part of a Ztorm Lobostics production. Thank you.